Hey guys. All right, so you know what time it is, right? It's Monday. I absolutely love Mondays because it is Samara Keeps It Real Estate Q&A Mondays, and normally it's at 7, but I'm coming to you guys a little bit earlier. So those of you who are locked in for the 7 o'clock time frame, don't worry, it'll be recorded and will be available. As we're getting closer to the season, I always tell you guys that real estate is definitely more than just houses. It's about the people, the strategy, the things that are happening in people's worlds, their why. My why is my family, my kids, and tonight there's a game exactly in the middle of when I usually do my live. So either cancel or move it up and make sure that you guys get the information that you ask all the time, questions answered, fun stuff going on. And those of you who already know me and follow the channel, you guys know that we are sports heavy in this house. And tonight's a basketball game. My son will be playing, so we will definitely have to go check that out. But the cool part is my son is playing my nephew. So Jackson versus SJV, for those of you who are local, check it out. They're gonna be over at the hoop group. But for those of you who are not, I'm already in sports mode, so my mind's in sports mode as well. But there are some really good questions. I don't want to miss this stuff. You guys know the routine. I get on here, go through questions for you, whether you're a buyer, a seller, investor, someone who's just interested in real estate in general, just have questions. People who fill out my DMs for my consults and listing appointments, questions that would be really useful for those who are afraid to ask them. And I tell you guys, there's no such thing as a dumb question, just questions that haven't been asked before. So don't be scared. We got you. And since my mind is on sports mode, if I do any dad jokes or sports analogies, it's not my fault. But thank you. Oh, hey, thanks for jumping on. All right. So when I'm looking at this, I get some very fun questions from my buyers. And I'm going to start off with, what is one of the most important first steps when getting ready to buy a house? I'm gonna do it. I'm doing it. All right. So the first thing you wanna do is you're gonna put together a team, guys. That is the most important thing possible when you are a buyer out there getting ready to embark upon the journey. And I say embark because it's legitimately a journey. There's so many moving parts when buying your house for the first time. You need to be really mindful of understanding what that means. All right. So it's a lot of fun, but that's the number one thing. Put together the right team. So think of like your starting lineup, right? Get your lender early. And I'm gonna do it again, right? Your pre-approval is like your number one draft pick. Okay, so you wanna make sure that you know what your buying power is when you're going out there making things happen. You wanna know what you can afford. You wanna know all the things. Hey, thanks for jumping on. You guys already know I've moved it up a little bit today because I wanna run over to watch the kids play because they're so fun to watch. And I don't wanna miss an opportunity to share information with you guys because education is key. For those of you guys just jumping on, we're just recapping a little bit about the first question regarding buyers and the first important thing to do. We navigate this process. You guys have been asking tons of questions around it, which is what it's designed for. So I love that. I sit with my buyers and do a whole consult so they know what to expect. And then after they hear all the things that they're going to expect in the journey, and I'm very big on visuals, then they get to know that they're not alone, right? They're not alone at all in this process. So it's very big. Something I can do to make sure I pick the right neighborhood. So guys, buyers, this is a good one. I want you to treat it like you're a coach recruiting. I know, I can't help it. But seriously, you wanna scout the neighborhood, you wanna drive around, you wanna make sure that you're familiar with the schools, if you have kids in the district, or you wanna put schools in kids in the district, you wanna make sure that you are well-versed in the neighborhood. Drive at different times of the day. If you're not sure what neighborhood you wanna be in, use the weekends to check out the stores, the shops, the restaurants, get a vibe for where you wanna be. That way you can seriously figure out if this is the right fit for you, right? Because you never know unless you have family already in the neighborhood and all those fun things that go with it. But it's a lot of fun and you should really enjoy it. And don't miss on the opportunity of looking for the things that you want in the area you want to be in, all right? The only way you can communicate clearly to your agent what towns you want to be in. And I don't get requests that say like anywhere in Ocean County is fine. which sometimes we get. I think we've got some where they say anything in New Jersey works for me as long as it's within X miles away from my job, which is also useful depending on, how much house can you get for your money and things like that. So we get a nice variety of parameters to help people find their houses. So we keep it real estate all the time. all the time. So my buyers, keep asking those questions, keep plugging in. So many dumb, I have like so many sports analogy jokes in my head right now regarding like the real estate market, fun angles regarding, your inspection being your replay review, like all the things. So I'm your girl. I love this stuff, guys. I've been in the real estate industry for 20 plus years. Thank you guys that are locking in and trusting me with your journeys. Let me be a part of your why and just your next chapter in general. So I love it. And keep asking the questions, because most of you guys are the ones that DM me later. Most of you guys are the ones that are replaying it later and sharing it and liking it with your friends. So that is key. That's why I do it, right? I mean, this is truly a labor of love. I come on here, answer questions, because I want to make sure that I keep it real estate for you guys. Keep it raw, keep it real, keep it fun, answer the questions in a way that hopefully people understand really clearly, hopefully get a little vibe from it, and just have fun with it. All right, so I'm going to move on to my sellers, because I'm tight on time today, like I said, because no matter what happens in this universe, you guys already know that family will always come first, right? That goes for everyone. You guys, that's the priority, always and forever. All right, so my seller secrets. Now, those of you who read my book, kudos. You ended up calling me and hiring me and asking me to do the job. I love it. It's what I do. For those of you that are already working with me, you already know what the checklist looks like. That checklist of like all the things that we could do versus our bandwidth versus what we can afford to do. So a question that came up is the importance of, how did they phrase it? Because it was actually very interesting. Do I really need to stage my house, and what does that even mean? So, guys, there's a couple different ways to handle that question, because yes, staging your house is important. And staging a house doesn't mean what you guys think it means. It doesn't mean buying and renting fancy furniture to make it look like a picture magazine, right? Staging your house can mean just streamlining the things that you have in your current house and situating your furniture so that's a good flow and making sure that people can actually see the space and making it really work for you. So staging can mean a number of things, but the short answer is, yeah, staging is important. It's like putting a spotlight on your best player, your house, your MVP, and you don't want to have him sit on the bench, right? So you want to make sure that you have everything just really streamlined where people can see it and understand it, right? So you want to be able to walk into a house and the staging can be your existing furniture, just really decluttered, a really clean space, a really nice canvas that makes people be like, I can see my stuff here too. All right, so that's the thought behind staging, and yes, it is very important that you guys do it on some level, because you get those first eyes in your house from the pictures, from the photos, and then they want to come in and see it. It starts there. All right, that's your canvas. So great question, you guys. It's like the question of, do I really have to do this? And my sellers that don't push back and just go all in, I love it. For those of you who are like, all right, let's outsource it, let's do it, right? But these are all key factors that help you out in the long run. So thank you guys for asking those questions, because it helps other people hear it over and over again. So no matter which route they go, they're like, oh, okay, that makes sense. Let's do that. Let's do that. All right, so you see I'm game ready already. I already got the gear, hustle gear. I'm gonna go watch the kids play. Oh, I can't wait. But I will give you one more question, because I think we're almost out of time anyway. That's the importance of real estate and the fun part about all the things that we do. I love it. So I did hit you guys with a little bit of, let's see, I want to say dad jokes, but they're not really dad jokes. They're just those, but I'm not really, just layering in the sports analogies, and people get it. Some of them do not get it, but for those of you who do, high five you. All right, let me layer in an investor question, because I feel like my investors are out hot and heavy, and I love everything about it, right? So the question that I got was actually a really good question. I'm trying to figure out how best to phrase it so you guys understand what they're trying to ask me, and then to answer it as best I possibly can. So basically, my investor that asked this question, they wanted to know, is real estate investing all about getting the one big deal or the small little ones? All right, so that can mean a couple of different things, but if you're asking me high level, like base hits for me all day, all right? Because the consistency, right? So that's kind of the long play, right? Where you're doing the rentals, you're getting consistent income. It's small, but if you think about it, it stacks, it adds, it's, almost passive, depending on what you're doing as far as managing it. And it's giving you residuals, right? Now, a big flip is also really fun to have when you get that nice big flip paycheck, but you can also swing and miss big, right? So when you're talking about consistency and what's ideal, I mean, having a portfolio that has both is fantastic. As an investor, I actually do have both, where we do have smaller projects. We do some fix and flips when the market warrants it and when we're able to find a good deal to make sure the numbers make sense. Fix and flips, okay? We talked about those before. But the buy and hold play is find something that is, within the numbers game, where you're able to make money monthly as opposed to lose money constantly until you finish the project and get that big paycheck at the end. So a couple different strategies, and that's the fun part too. When I interview with my investors, it's talking through what their strategy is, what their threshold is, what they have the ability to actually be comfortable with, because not everybody has the risk factor to just go all in, right? They got to have that comfort level. They got to have a couple of things working for them. There's a lot of different games there. So you guys already know, if you have questions regarding investing, I do investor consults. I do manage portfolios, help find stuff, research and development. It's kind of our wheelhouse because we're familiar with it. We do it. We have tons of contacts in the network. I have some investors that have been working out to try to figure out how they can be partners on some of our projects, which we're offering as well too. So if you guys have questions about that, reach out. You got 10 grand floating around. You're like, what can I invest in? We got some ideas for you. If you're like, I have a couple projects right now, I'm trying to figure out if they even make sense anymore. Can you take a look at them? We got you. All right. So that's just another part of the whole game, right? It's just, education is always going to be key. Never be done learning. And I'm going to put my coach's hat on because you guys already know I was coaching. Always be coachable, especially for my buyers and my sellers out there, right? Being able to be coachable and pivot and not be stuck to this game plan in the back of your head, but understand that things change, offers change, negotiations change, things pop up, structures happen, hiccups are going to happen. Being able to understand the information that comes across and being open to suggestions on how to handle it can be very key in your success to getting your deals done. All right, that even goes with the investors. Some of you guys are all different places. I have brand new investors. I have investors who've been investing for years. I have developers I'm working with now. I'm working on becoming a developer myself. So watch your girl. Things are coming. But it's all fun and it's all really worth it, as long as you're willing to put the work in and be open-minded and be willing to learn things and be willing to understand that not everything is cut and dry and that the real estate market is not one size fits all. That's why Samara keeps it real estate, because there's so many moving parts and it's so different. And it is beautiful when you think about it. Also frustrating and a little stressful, and can definitely drop the anxiety. But the good news for you guys is that you are never alone. You have someone in your back pocket who's been in this industry for quite some time, coupled with the fact that I have a master's degree in marketing and human resource. So it all comes down to the organizational aspect of it, understanding the people, having the conversations, having the right networks. You got an ace in your pocket. So if you need me, give me a call. You know where to find me. I love you guys. Hit me up with my DMs. You guys check me out all the time. This will be available for your recording. Like I said, I did have to sneak a couple hours in here. Normally it's always at one time, but I have a game and a tip off to make, and they're so fun to watch. So there you have it. Another episode of Samara Keeps It Real Estate, Mondays. Never miss a Monday. All right. So thanks for locking in. Keep checking out our Truth Bomb Tuesdays. If you missed any of this and you want to watch it or replay, because there's some really fun information in there, and your girl sometimes just be really silly. So sorry. Ask questions that are silly too. I love those also. And I will definitely bring those up on here because they're just fun. Check out the Truth Bomb Tuesdays. Check out the content that's on YouTube that's growing. I love how you guys are like leaning in and really tapping into the content that's out there. Between that and the local loves, like, it's a lot of fun. I love it. So thank you guys for being amazing. Thank you guys for locking in. If you have questions, I'm your girl. And there you have it. Samara Keeps It Real Estate. Take care.